Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Corey, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. Are you only valuable to your wife when you're useful around the house? A lot of you guys are in this situation where you are so industrious, it has come to the point that you are going to be sexless for the rest of your life if you continue doing this. So a lot of you guys, you're already doing everything that you can in order to keep a roof over your family's head. You're doing everything to make sure that they're fed. You're making sure that they're clothed by working 80 hours or however many hours you're working per week in order to provide. You're already doing that. But it's not enough for some of your wives. You've allowed them to not invest within the relationship. So now you do a lot of the dishes, you do a lot of the cooking, you do everything to make sure that the kids as well are fed, clothed, washed, bathed, everything. So you're doing pretty much everything. And even though you're doing all of this stuff, you're still not getting any affection, any love, any sex whatsoever, none whatsoever. And it's because when it comes to this, and whenever I speak about this, most people say, shouldn't I be doing it or should I not be doing it? I personally do it. I do the washing, I do the cleaning, I do all of these things, but I do it because I want to do it. I don't even do it because I want to get sex. In fact, if she told me that if you do these dishes and then I'll give you sex, I'll be telling her, keep your sex. I'm just going to do the dishes and I'm not prepared to have sex with you because I don't want it to be transactional whatsoever. I want it to be something that you want to do rather than something that you give me based off of what I do, which is a complete different dynamic. Because if you've created this dynamic within your head, when you continue doing this thing where you're doing pretty much every single thing around the house and making money, and when it really devalues who you are. Now, there's a reason why you're like this. Is because once upon a time when you were growing up, when the adults or your caregivers, when they, instead of telling you that they loved you for who you are and they're lucky to have you as their child, they didn't. They told you, they gave you signals of you are not enough. You need to do certain things for me to validate you as a person. So, for example, whether it's your mom, your dad, whatever caregiver you had, only made you feel loved when you did something. So this became your blueprint on how you receive love. So when you now get into a relationship, you feel like you need to be giving as much as you can in order for you to get the approval of love, which is completely the wrong thing to be doing within a loving relationship, especially where sex is involved, because it really reduces anything when it comes to attraction and seduction when you do so, because it becomes very transactional. And when it's transactional, it forces the other person not to see sex as something fun, interesting, exciting, because when you're doing all of these things, it builds a sense of entitlement. So the more dishes that you do, the more things that you clean, you get this entitlement that builds up. And while the entitlement builds up, and if there's no sex that happens, something also starts building up, which is resentment. So resentment starts building up. So you've got this entitlement and resentment building up because I'm doing all of these things around the house. I'm doing everything, all these things for you, but you're not responding. And because you're not responding, I'm not going to feel resentment around it. And this becomes a vicious cycle because now you've got this real negative feeling entering into a relationship, which is opposed to heavy seduction. So now you cannot build seduction or any sexual influence when you're coming from resentment or any negative emotion. You have to have positive emotions. You have to have positive ways that you're looking at your partner in order to get into a place where you can actually get to a place where you can have sex. Because again, it's one of those very important things when it comes to a relationship, that you have to be building around a sense of fun and anticipation, and you have to be building that. You have to do that. Now, there's a way of doing it, and it's different for different people. For me, I've had the privilege of coaching 239 guys this year and empower them into their relationships. So we've got different methods that we teach for different people. And for us to identify what sort of training we can give you, you can come to our Instagram, thriving_tribesmen, and we'll take you through what that looks like. And again, it's a free process where we can take you through this free process where we see what's happening in your relationship, see what you've been doing, and then we'll give you a list of actions that you need to go and do in order to change your relationship. Now, while we're doing this is how we get clients. We give you those tasks, we see how you get on, you see how we coach, and then when you talk about you becoming a client, it's a very easy conversation because now you know how stuff works, and also you've got to try it out, like just like Netflix. You get to try it out and then you see how it works. If it's for you, then you go ahead and have that conversation. If it's not for you, at least you've given it a go, and that makes it so much easier for everyone. So thank you very much. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.